How is Cheltenham today? Because obviously yesterday was grand, it was low key, there wasn't that many people behind you. Today it's early, but fever pitch.
Yeah, it's like I was walking around the course and I posted some photos to Instagram and off the ball yesterday with this you love a lawn like this winner's enclosure that looked like something out of Utopia, and the course was just beautiful. This beautiful like kind of green bowl, but there was nobody here. Now everybody's filtering in. The crowds will be let in about 10:30. It's raining. It's going to be pretty wintry and blustery for the next few hours. It's going to clear up later in the day, but as Johnny Ward was saying on our Cheltenham show yesterday, they haven't raced on this ground all winter. So it's going to be soft ground, but it's not going to be bottomless ground. So it's just going to be fascinating to see what happens. And like the great thing about it is now, guys, right at this moment, I'm right with my opinions. The jockeys have all their hopes and dreams. Everything is intact. The trainers, the owners. The beauty of all sport is the unpredictability of it. And I think horse racing is one of those sports that lends itself to massive unpredictability. If you even remember Annie Power 4 years ago going for that race, which I think would have given Ruby Walsh a 4-timer on the day, and then she fell at the final flight. So we just don't know what's going to happen in the Champion Hurdle today. We don't know what's going to happen in any races. We do know that Cheltenham is happening, and it's happening from half one.
Yeah. What on a day like today, again, it's not that it's not that hard to predict that some of the favourites are going to win, because that's why they're favourite at this point. But from your perspective, you tend to look for some of the outsiders. Is that right?
Yeah, when I was looking at the prices, really, and I'm kind of looking at some of the races here. So we have, 18 runners in the last race. Bally Ward, I think there's a very big chance. He's under 3-1. The second last race has got, 20 runners. Plutard, once again, very good chance for Rachel Blackmore, but about a 6-1 shot. That's very skinny odds. So I'm looking at the way I kind of did my punting strategy today was I looked at a couple of horses I think will win, Apples Jade and Benny de Dieu, and then I looked at each way possibilities in the other races, because the Supreme Novices Hurdle and the Oracle race, they're not easy races to call. So I went for a couple of what I think are winners, and then I'm looking for value, because ultimately, if I can get a horse that finishes in the top 3 or whatever at 16-1, it's better than having a horse that's really, really good, but it is a loser at 4-1. So that's my kind of thinking. So I'm trying to have a kind of a solid win element to my strategy, but also an each way element to my strategy, because ultimately we're trying to find value and unearth some overpriced horses here today.
Yeah, and end with a profit over the week as opposed to loss. We like that.
Yeah, profit. You'll never go poor, folks. Profit will never make you poor.
Tell me, okay, so did you say Benny de Dieu? You like Benny de Dieu as a winner today?
Yeah, and my nap is Apples Jade. So Apples Jade is my nap in the Champion Hurdle at 3:30, just under about 2-1 at the moment. Apples Jade has won all 4 starts between 2 and 3 miles this season by 73 lengths, a combined total of 73 lengths. I don't believe in this stuff about she's not great at Cheltenham. She won the Mares Hurdle here when she probably wasn't running as well as she is now. She hasn't run as well this season as she did when she was 4, and she was narrowly beaten in the Triumph Hurdle here. Then she went and won by 41 lengths over 2 miles in the Juvenile Hurdle at Aintree on soft ground. And I don't think horses have been able to live with her. Like Wicklow Brave is a good yardstick, was not able to live with her earlier in the season, and she's beaten all the geldings. I think she's a really good chance of winning the Champion Hurdle. I think Boubert Dare was disappointing at Christmas. I don't think he's beaten much in the race in the last couple of years. You can't knock the fact that he's a dual champion hurdler. Lorena, we just don't know. And if you're backing a horse at 4-1, you're just, she might win, but you just don't know. She's never run against the boys. Of course, you'd have to respect what Ruby and Willie are saying down in Close Sutton, and the fact that, Ruby's riding her over, say, Mellon, for example. We just don't know how good Lorena is. But we do know how good Apples Jade has been this season. So on the evidence of form, I think Apples Jade is the most likely winner of the race. The one that I think is an outsider is Espoir Allen, probably a 20-1 shot for Gavin Cromwell. But a 5-year-olds tend not to win Champion Hurdles. Only happened once since 1985, and 101 horses have tried. So Espoir Allen does have a turn of foot, could finish in the frame, but Apples Jade, to me, on form, on what I've seen, is the most solid proposition in the Champion Hurdle. That's my nap of the day. Benny de Dieu, once again, there's huge confidence in the Mullins camp about Benny de Dieu winning this race for the second year in a row. She's very good horse, first time out. She runs well, fresh. And there's huge confidence. And the confidence, to me, generally in the mares races, if you look at the ratings, there are 1 or 2 or 3 horses at the top, and the rest of them, even though they might have Winster name, generally they're not of the standard of the likes of Benny de Dieu.
Okay, so their first nap is Apple's Jade. Benedict strong favourite in terms of a win today. Benedict around about 11 to 10, touching evens in and out from that. Apple's Jade around about 7 to 4 at the moment. Okay, so they're the two short price horses you like today. What about the outsiders that you're looking for?
Well, then we're going each way on the Romanian races. So the first race, the Supreme Novices Hurdle, I've gone for a horse called Vision d'Honneur. Once again, I think there's huge confidence from the stable. Everything that Gordon Elliott has said about the horse, he really likes this horse. I think it's going to be a star possibly of the future, and I think we'll appreciate softer ground that he's got so far. So Vision d'Honneur is about 11 to 1 chance. I think it's got a chance of reaching the frame in the first race. I would not put anybody off Angel's Breath. Angel's Breath has got a massive chance for Nicky Henderson, but it's about a 4 to 1 shot. Once again, I think it's an open race. Would I want to be back in a 4 to 1 shot in what I think is an open race? Probably not. I'd rather back Apple's Jade. So I've backed Vision d'Honneur each way in the first race, about 11 to 1, the 130 Supreme Officers Hurdle. The Arkle Chase at 210. I've gone for Duc de Genèvre. That's a 7 to 1 shot, William Mullins and Paul Townend. This horse was second behind Sam Crow at Leopardstown in a hurdle race last year. Was a very good hurdler, probably ran over too far at the festival last year. And they changed tactics with him at Bourne Park last time. They ran him over 2.5 miles. He was a front runner and he demolished the opposition. So I think a change of tactics for Duc de Genèvre has put this very, very smart hurdler back in the frame, back in the picture for the Arkle Chase, which once again is an open race. And I think at 7 to 1, Duc de Genèvre has a good chance of making the frame. Then the next race is the 250. I've gone for an outsider called Royal Vacation at 35 to 1. Mike Beisch fell in a novice chase at Kempton, a grade 1, a couple of years ago. And the horse that picked up the pieces and won was Royal Vacation for Colin Tizard. And he's a course winner here, and he has won on soft ground. He's been named to the Grand National, but to me, he's way overpriced. And in Racing Post today, Colin Tizard, the trainer, said that he didn't think he had an each-way chance. Like the horse that stands out in that race that might win by half the track is Manila Rocco, who was second in the Gold Cup behind Sizing John 2 years ago, has beaten Naval River twice at the festival, Manila Rocco. But he's been very disappointing since. Once again, being named to the Grand National, I will probably prefer better ground. But if he came back to his best, he's way better than these Manila Rocco. But the one I liked at a price was Royal Vacation.
It's interesting this morning, John, because I saw Manila Rocco was near the top of the betting, and there's not a single tipster across the newspapers that I've gone through this morning that actually tipped Manila Rocco to win the thing.
There you go. So it's a time former tipping him in the UK, and a couple of other services are tipping him. And look, if it's JB McManus colours, and it's a yard that sometimes likes to have a gamble, and there's a bit of money for it. But then I've seen a bit of drift for it as well. So Royal Vacation's the one I've got.
Manila Rocco's around about 8 to 1 at the moment.
Yeah, but like if Manila Rocco is at his best, he will win the race. But you're once again you're taking that on chance. And I'd rather at 4 times the price take it on chance at Royal Vacation, who is a little bit of class, can maybe fill the frame of 4 or 5 places here. And then the last 2 races have gone for 2 other horses. We have this Close Brothers Novices Handicap Chase at 450. Once again, Rachel Blackmore's got a big chance with A Plus Tard, probably the favourite, good jumper. Was entered in some of the novice races, so they probably think of a lot of it at Henry de Bromhead's yard. But the one I've gone for, and this is no reflection on me or my personality or my integrity, is a horse called Shady Operator.
Hey.
So this is Joseph O'Brien. This horse beat Ballyward over fences, and has got form behind Sharjah. Shady Operator with Mark Walsh in the saddle, I think could be a little bit better than the race he's in today. He's about 14 to 1 each way. Does need to jump better and does need to travel well. That's probably factored into his price. And the last race, the half 5, which is the 4 miler, once again Ballyward, you can't knock Ballyward. If you're backing Ballyward, it wouldn't put you off whatsoever. Ran well at the festival last year, won well last time out. Patrick Mullins won the race last year, but about 3 to 1, less than 3 to 1, to me does not represent value in an 18 runner race over 4 miles where there could be like faulters and that kind of thing. There could be traffic problems. The one I've gone for is Atlanta Ablaze. You need a good jumper in this race. Atlanta Ablaze is a good jumper, had a wind operation, won well the last time, and could reach the frame at 18 to 1 for Henry Daly, who knows how to train old-fashioned chasers, which this horse is. So a lot of the horses at the top of the market, like Angel's Breath, like Ballyward, like A Plus Tard, I wouldn't put anybody off. They might all win today and I'll have egg on my face or an omelette. But the way I've kind of thought about my strategy is, okay, Apple's Jade I think I'll win, Betty DeGio I think I'll win, and I'm going for each way chances of horses filling the frame in the other races, and if they win, it's a bonus.
John, good stuff. You'll be down at the grandstand for the first race when they go off?
Yeah, I always generally go to the press room, and they've got a little bit of a walkway outside where you can watch the race, and like it literally is sardines. You cannot move, and like it is just fantastic. You do get that shiver down the spine when the roar goes up for the Supreme Novices Hurdle at half one. It's one of these moments, like every year, you just get that kind of that kind of nervous feeling, and it's just something that you can't really talk about tangibly, but you just have to be here to experience it, because it is the show, and there is no other race meeting like it. Like I've been to a Grand National, but the Cheltenham, the first day, Cheltenham, the first race, you just get that roar, and then from then on, it is relentless for 4 days, 28 races. There's like boxers' punches coming at you every half an hour. The great thing is, like, you don't get hurt unless you're getting hurt in the betting ring. But it's something to enjoy. It's something not to get carried away about. But like, and even for all the people who've come over here, they might have come over here for like Tuesday, Wednesday, or they might have come here Thursday or Friday and maybe taken Cardiff in, or for those with great constitution and every way will be here for the week. But also all the people back home, all the people that may be taking a half day from work, with a turf accountant and maybe a bar nearby with the lads or the ladies, and having their crack and having their fun. And that's what the great belonging nature of Cheltenham, that everybody's got an opinion. Right now, everybody is right, and then people will share stories over the week, and hopefully we'll have some great storylines, like Rachel Blackmore. Hopefully we'll have a first festival winner. She's 84 winners in the Irish Jockeys title race this season. So Willie Mullins, I know he's come into the festival in a little bit of a quiet spell over the winter, but Willie Mullins is somebody you cannot discount, and he's got a lot of good chances today. So I think things could be a bit turned on their head if Willie has a good day today.
You done? You want any questions?
Already, they stack up pretty well, John, with the tipsters across the newspapers this morning, is all I'm saying. Your Vision Don Earn, the first, looks a particularly good one as well. It's, I don't know what you said, was it 11 to 1, 12 to 1?
11 to 1, 12 to 1. I think you did this thing, Owen, last year where you had my selections and I think Ruby Walsh's, and if they matched, you did it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're doing that again. But,
well, I'm kind of going to do it. So Ruby Walsh has gone against you in the 130. He's going for Classical Dream as part of a double, in fact, which I presume is a horse that's been spoken about quite a bit. But to be fair, you've got Gordon Elliott and Jack Kennedy and Ed Chamberlain, indeed, the likes of Peter O'Hare and Tommy Lyons as well, all getting on board Vision Don Earn. So I'm liking the sound of that, John. I just believe in strength in numbers when it comes to Cheltenham.
Owen, Shrew Sheehan will only get involved when he just sees the pattern of tipsters across the board. Then he will pounce. Otherwise, it's holding the money in the pocket. I'm
a sheep, but I'm going to be a rich sheep.
John, good stuff. We'll talk to you later. Thanks a million. It's John Duggan with us every morning. It's 12 minutes past 9 this morning. If you're watching us on any of our streams, you're very welcome. If you're listening to us on offtheball.com, you're also very welcome. If you want to get in touch, you can drop us a text. Just use the hashtag OTB AM.